Also, the other thing that I would suggest for this guy, and that you should do too, these links here go to automatically open in Windows Media Player. If possible, put them in a streaming player right here. So we'd have come on into Detroit, and then right here a little streaming player so people can click play. Yes, I want to listen to this one. That's what I would do. It's faster. Windows Media Player presents problems at times when people are running Apple Macintosh computers, so don't mess with them like that. Now here's the news section. This is good, but we've only got 2 news items, and that's kind of a bummer because it sort of makes the page look like it hasn't been updated in a while, or that this artist isn't doing a whole lot. Now, for all I know, this guy's actually incredibly busy and just hasn't had time to update his page regularly. Or he could just not be doing that much. So it's important, if you're going to have a news page, that you keep it updated. Now, also here, he's got gigs. And when we go to gigs, we'll see that there's only one. Now, I would just combine these two because having a new gig is news, and then that way you don't have to deal with the page looking sort of empty. We'd have news here and the new gig. Even better, I would bring that around to the home page. Put your news and put your gig information here, and that's if you don't have 40 to list, because then that would get too cumbersome on your home page. So for this gentleman, I would put his song, Citadel, or the one that you can buy at TuneTribe. I'd put the song, I'd put the player, I'd put buy it at TuneTribe, and then I'd put news, and I would put that he's got a gig and his 2 other items of news, and then nix these 2 completely from the navigation bar. But if you have a site that's a lot, that you have more news to put up, then go ahead and keep it separate. But make sure that if you are going to do that, that you've got a lot of information to put there, because nobody likes to click to a page and find only one piece of news. It sort of just makes it seem empty. Now this page, his biography, is perfect actually, except for one thing. I really like that what he does here is he talks a little bit about his past and where he comes from and whatnot, but he doesn't go into like an 8-page, like I was born in southern Mississippi and I blah 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 and on and on and on. Nobody wants to hear all that. Give a nice short, look at this. It's a sentence, paragraph, sentence, paragraph, sentence, paragraph. It's short, it's readable. Do that. Talk a little bit about your influences, talk a little bit about your history as a musician, and call it good. Now this down here, I don't know what's going on. I'm assuming that he's telling us that you can buy this single at TuneTribe, but it isn't terribly clear. So if you want to put that on your page, encouraging people to buy something, if you want to put that in your bio or anywhere else on your website for that matter, make sure that it's very clear that you can purchase this here, because it's not spelled out. I'm a new visitor here. I don't know. I can't read this guy's mind, so make it really easy on people, because people, I'm going to put this bluntly, people are much, much, much dumber than you think. People also can't read your mind, so what makes perfect sense to you does not make perfect sense to everybody else. So please be very, very clear. Now we go over here to Grimy Products. Oh, you know what I forgot to tell you about the bio? Put a picture of yourself. We want to know who you are. Always put a picture of yourself. Okay, now over here at Grimy Products. Now, I thought that this was going to be a page that maybe had some merchandise, like some stickers or, t-shirts or something, but what it is just a page that tells you that you can get a song at TuneTribe. That's fine, but rather than make people go through 2 steps of clicking here and then going and clicking here, if you've only got the one thing that you're selling on the one site, like if all of his songs are at TuneTribe, then just go ahead and make clicking here go directly to your TuneTribe page or your CD Baby page, or whoever you use to distribute your music. Because if you're making people take 2 steps, they're not all going to go through with it. So get them while they're hot. Send them directly there and let them buy. Now if we go over here to images, I want to know where my artist is. I don't see him. That's a bummer. People like to see who they're listening to music from. You know how music evokes such an emotional response in people, and people really become attached to the music, and people really become attached to the artists that make the music. And if you're not going to show people who you are, it's going to be a lot harder for them to build a relationship with you. So, if at all possible, put in pictures of yourself. Put in pictures of yourself playing your music. It builds a relationship, and it's really important that people know who they're dealing with. One of the other options for products is to open a cafe press shop. What that lets you do is create, stickers or T-shirts or whatever. You don't pay anything up front. You put your logo on them, maybe this over here, and then people can buy that if they're fans. So keep that in mind. Cafe Press is a great place to do merchandise when you're just starting out. Now, contact info. Um, well, what I would suggest here is that the person add in information about social networking sites that they belong to. So they might want to add a link to their MySpace profile page or their Friendster page or their Flickr page or whatever it is that they use, and make it really easy. Use the logos, use a MySpace logo and then say, Grimy City's MySpace page, click. So people can go there and add you as a friend. So when they go here, they'll see the logo of the site and go, oh, I'm a Friendster user, let me go ahead and add him. It'll happen really quickly and be really simple. And that's what I would do with the contact page. The commenting page, it's a guest book. Guest books are magnets for spam nowadays, and I don't really recommend them. But if you really must, then go ahead. What I would do instead is have a contact page where you encourage people to email you what they think about your music and what they think about your songs, and then you can take those things that people email you that are positive and post them on your website and say, this is what so and so said about this particular track, and then it's that person saying, oh wow, that's the tightest hip hop track that I've heard all year, or whatever they might have said. But that's going to work a lot better than a guest book, because once this guest book has 40 comments in it, nobody's going to read it all. So what you want to do is you want to take the positive things that people say about you and put them all over your website, and that lets other people see that there's other people that like your music. And it's a concept called social proof, and it's proof that other people like what you're doing. And once people think, oh, a whole bunch of people like this guy, I should too, it's going to help your popularity once people do get to your page.